Hello, welcome to Beach View, our podcast about all sorts of things and stuff.
Yes, and today we're doing another current viewings.
Yes. So I will start. I was actually going to do a different current viewings. I was going to talk about a book that I was reading, but I never finished the book. So I decided to change it up. And I just watched this movie the other night. It just came out on streaming, and it's Another Simple Favor. I keep wanting to say flavor. I have no idea why, but every time I say it, I say flavor. But it is, in fact, Another Simple Favor. So, hot on the streaming services. This is a sequel to A Simple Favor, and I liked that movie and book. And so I wanted to watch the sequel, even though I had seen just a little bit of online commentary saying it was kind of like dumb. I decided to give it a go and I watched it. So, have you heard of it?
No.
No. Well, I wouldn't think you would, but it is starring Blake Lively, Anna Kendrick, and some other people. So, anyway, they've been doing like a press tour. They've been hyping it up. I've been seeing ads online. So I was like, let me get into this. So I will start with the plot summary. So this movie starts 5 years after the events of the first film. And if you don't know, it's like a dark comedy thriller type of movie. There's like murders, mystery, somebody trying to figure it all out type of thing, mixed with like good fashion and kind of goofy dialogue sometimes. So anyway, I like the first film. I was like, let me see how this one's gonna go. So this movie starts 5 years after the first film. So Stephanie Smothers, who's played by Anna Kendrick, she has become a successful true crime mom vlogger. So she posts these videos. She used to do like cooking, like making snacks for your kids, like zucchini muffin videos, and had this whole like mom tribe type of thing online who they actually helped solve the crime in the last movie. So this one, she's now like a true crime vlogger, and she also is an author. So she wrote a book about the crimes that happened in the last movie. So anyways, so she hasn't posted a vlog in several months. And because there was a true crime investigation that she was doing that went wrong, and a man she was investigating was shot and killed right in front of her. And basically, she wrestles with the question of whether he was truly guilty and if it was her fault that he died. So she's been like radio silent for the past few months, and like her fellow like parent, friends are like wondering like what's going on with her. So anyway, she's at her book reading. They're trying to sell her book. And in walks in her frenemy, Emily. Emily, who is played by Blake Lively, her real name is actually Hope, we discovered in the last film. She is kind of like a fraud, so she kind of like, hops from place to place and like basically tries to defraud people. Anyways, so we call her Emily because that's what Stephanie knew her as. So she was exposed as a fraud and killer in the first movie, okay?
Oh, so she's not just a fraud, she's also a murderer, okay.
Yes. So
You maybe should have led with that. I feel like
I
one
should
of these
have.
things is not like the others, but
I don't want to like explain the first movie like a ton, but like there is some context. So like she actually killed her twin sister in the last movie. Her twin sister that we didn't know she had a twin, okay? And then she ends up
she's
like
the evil twin.
Yeah, basically. Well, the other one was like a drug addict, so she made it seem like she drowned. And anyways, like this whole thing, they were like on the run because they like committed this arson. So they've been on the run like since they were teenagers, and that's why she has like different identities and stuff like that. So it's a whole thing. So anyway, so Stephanie, the mom vlogger, exposed her, like her life of crime basically in the last one. So that's the context. So in walks in Emily, and it's like this whole dramatic thing. And she was recently released from prison, and Stephanie didn't know, nobody knew, because of some like legal technicality. So she appears, in front of the whole like book audience, invites Stephanie to be her maid of honor at a lavish wedding in Capri, Italy, to Dante, that's her fiance, Dante Versano, who is like this wealthy Italian businessman who we know, like we see has ties. It's like kind of like a mafioso type, okay? Anyways, it's like this kind of mystery, like who is this guy? So Stephanie, like she knows something's up, but she and her book agent decide to go anyway. They're traveling on this private jet to Capri while she talks to Emily, like Stephanie talks to Emily and tries to get to the bottom of what her motivation is. She's like, why would she invite me? Like she knows something's going on. Like why would she invite me to here? But she goes anyway because she's like, I have my book agent with me. Like, let's see what happens. And the book agent is pushing it because she's like, you're not selling your book. You need to sell this book. You need to put out vlogs. Like you need some content, you know? So like, let's go. Anyway, they arrive in Capri. Stephanie becomes like basically entangled in this storyline that kind of like outs Emily's family secrets, okay? So we see Sean. Sean is Emily's ex-husband, who she was like basically tried to kill in the last film. And Stephanie was involved with Sean, okay? So we see Sean, and then Emily and Sean's son, who's like grown up now, you know, well, he's still a kid, but he's grown up 5 years. And Sean is apparently like drowning his sorrows and bitterness in alcohol and is basically inebriated the whole time, okay?
Woo, crashing the wedding by
Yes,
getting
he's
drunk.
like, yeah, he's like, the only reason I'm here is because you forced me to be here for our son. So he's like just aggravated. He didn't want to be anywhere near her. It's the whole thing. Anyways, so they're at this like welcome dinner or rehearsal dinner. I don't really know. And Sean causes like a whole scene because of course he's drunk. And Stephanie gives like a terrible speech. And then Emily's soon-to-be mother-in-law, who hates her, surprises her by revealing that she brought Emily's mother and aunt to the wedding, which, like, Emily does not want those people at the wedding. Her mom has dementia and thinks that her daughter is evil because of, like, the crimes the twins committed when they were younger. And the aunt is just, like, this real suspicious character, okay? Of course, the scenery is beautiful. Who doesn't love Capri? Anyways, Sean, the ex-husband, he ends up getting murked in the shower, okay? But they still somehow go forward with the wedding the next day, and, like, their son's just chilling at the wedding. Like, I don't understand this. Like, wouldn't they stop the wedding? I don't know. Anyways, they have a gorgeous wedding. At the reception, Dante makes this big speech about, like, peace, not only in his family, but between the rival mafioso family, the Bartolos. And then he has a connection, like we see that there's a connection between Dante, the groom, and this one particular member of the other family, Matteo, okay? We don't know what the connection is, but like some kind of connection. So it's just like all this suspense, okay? Then Dante gets shot. Stephanie is blamed, mom vlogger is blamed because she's the only one over there who saw Dante get shot, but she didn't see who shot him, okay? So somehow she gets blamed. She's on house arrest in her hotel. The next day, Emily comes in dressed like, she calls it the corpse bride, with like a black veil. And she's acting like really sus, okay? And this leads to Stephanie discovering that Emily has a long lost triplet. So they weren't just twins, they were triplets, which we do
She's the
know
evil triplet.
Yes, evil triplet. We do know in the first film that they're triplets. Like we find out that they're triplets. One of them, Charity, it was Faith, Hope, and Charity.
Boo.
Yeah, I know. Charity was believed to have been stillborn, but we find out in this film she was not dead. In fact, she was secretly raised in isolation by their very manipulative Aunt Linda, who happens to be at this wedding. Okay, so Stephanie's putting this all together. She's like, okay, Emily's acting real weird, and there's some kind of connection with this weird aunt. Wait, that must be the triplet Charity. Okay, so she figures this out. Charity is very mentally unstable because of her upbringing, okay? So she basically assumes Emily's identity. She was the one who married Dante, and she was the one who commits these, like, series of murders, okay? Like, Charity and the aunt, including they killed Dante, they killed Emily's ex-husband, Sean, And there was this really dumb FBI agent whose character I feel like did not add anything to the film, okay? And they're doing all this to try to extort Dante out of like $20 million because he's this like super wealthy Italian guy, okay?
Isn't the plan here, like, wouldn't the plan here be to marry the rich guy and then kill him to get the inheritance? Like,
That's what yes, that's the plan. So so Stephanie has figured out that Charity has somehow done something with Emily. Charity and the aunt are working together, okay? Charity somehow done something with Emily. Charity is in place of Emily, like acts as Emily and marries Dante and then kills Dante so they could get this money.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. Yeah, I'm explaining it terribly. I'm not good. I wrote it down, but I'm not great at it. But anyways, so basically that's the plan. So we don't know like what's Emily doing, like how's Stephanie going to get out of her hotel because she's on house arrest, like all this stuff. So anyway, it's a whole thing. It's a little bit goofy, but the dramatic climax comes when they all like confront. So Emily and Stephanie like gang up against Charity and the Aunt Linda, okay? And we see that Charity is just like real wacky. Like there's a whole scene that's like gross and incestuous with Charity and what's her face, Emily. And so like we see like Charity's just very disturbed from her upbringing, okay? So the climax, Charity ends up killing Aunt Linda. Like Emily convinces her like we are one because Charity thinks they're one person. So Emily convinces her like you need to be with me, basically, like, forget about Aunt Linda. Charity kills Aunt Linda, somehow agrees to take the fall for the crimes, which, I mean, she did commit with Aunt Linda, and allows the real Emily to escape and go into hiding, okay? So Charity, she believes, like I said, she's one with Emily. She's goofy. She's, like, carrying around these little triplet dolls, the little porcelain dolls. It's real weird. Anyway, they convince her to be arrested as Emily. So Emily, aka Charity, goes back to jail. The real Emily is like on the run, okay? Anyways, fast forward, we're back home in the US. Stephanie resumes her true crime work. She is now raising Emily's son, Nicky, okay? And she wrote a second book about the whole crime-ridden wedding. So basically, the film kind of concludes with Emily, the real Emily, aka Hope, calling Stephanie and being like, hey, I need another simple favor. I need you to raise my son until I can get back to him. She's like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. Okay, and then, the very end, we see Emily is approached by her mother-in-law at the Trevi Fountain in Rome for a simple favor, hinting at potential movies to come. But basically, the mother-in-law is now like the head of the mafia family. So we think that the real Emily is going to be, the real Emily is going to be like basically for hire for this family. Because the mother-in-law is like, Dante's death was your fault. Like, even though you didn't do it, it's still your fault. Now you owe me. So there may be potential movies coming out of this.
Mm-hmm.
So anyways, that's the basis of it.
Yeah.
Sound like something you would like?
I mean, I don't know. It's, it's like a comedy, you were saying, like kind of like a detective story. I might like some of that, but I don't know. I didn't like the villain as you described it.
Yeah, it's a little too, like, predictable, I guess. I really like the twin trope thing even better when there's a triplet involved, right? They're all identical. But the way that they portrayed Charity as just being this, like, super crazy, it wasn't like, I like when there's, like, a slightly evil twin, like Emily, okay? And she's, like, like, tricking everybody, but she's really kind of evil. This was, like, Charity was, like, just real weird and, like, childlike almost. And I didn't like that.
Yeah, I tend not to like those types of villains. It's just not interesting to me.
No, I'm not interested in that. And it's almost like exploitation, I guess. If somebody's in that mental state and you're like convincing them to take your fall for your crime, it's just kind of like, ooh. Yeah. But I mean, it's dark humor. It's definitely like satire of like true crime type of things. Mystery, love that. I love the like backdrop. I always love a good like travel backdrop of Capri. It was beautiful. And a beautiful wedding. Like, I love to see the fashion, that kind of stuff. But it wasn't as good as the first one, which I knew it wasn't going to be, but I was like, let me give it a try. I do kind of want to rewatch it because, like, not right now, but like eventually, because I was like starting and stopping it a lot. I was like interrupted a lot. So I'm like, I kind of want to like watch it in full and see if there's like, if I like it better or not. So anyway, that's my current viewing. And I'm wondering like if there's going to be a third one at all, or
Yeah, it could
really
be.
what's going on with that. Yeah. So interesting.
So, did the original come out in theaters?
Yes. The original
Okay.
came out in theater. I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, I just looked it up on Wikipedia and it did. And
It did, yeah.
yeah, this one. Yeah, I don't know. It's been doing. Oh, I guess yeah, it did debut in South by Southwest, which is a film festival. But yeah, this looks like it's a streaming thing.
Yes.
I don't know. How do you feel about that movie coming only to streaming and not theaters?
Okay, so a couple of things. On one hand, I like it because I can immediately watch it. On the other hand, I feel like they're never as good when it's straight to streaming. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like maybe it's, and I don't know if this is accurate, but I feel like maybe it's more rushed when it's straight to streaming. Doesn't feel like as good of, as good as it could be, I guess. But I could be wrong about that.
I don't know that I've watched any of these like modern straight to streaming stuff. Yeah, I was gonna say Glass Onion, but that also had a limited theatrical run.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
But, and I always wonder, like, why do they not think it's going to do well? Is that why they do straight to streaming? Like, do they not think it's going to do well in theaters?
I think it's meant to be like a business strategy that they want like movies that don't come out in theaters that are specifically like in streaming.
I get that.
I
I do like being able to watch it immediately.
Yeah.
And they're still doing, like you said, it debuted at South by Southwest. And, I saw all the kind of like media around that. So it's still like, I was like ready, like, interested in watching it. So like the marketing definitely worked for me, and like it came out May 1st and I watched it, May 2nd. So pretty quickly. And so I do appreciate that. Like, a lot of times I don't want to go to the theater and watch something if I don't think it's going to be as good, because I just knew the sequel to this wasn't going to be as good. But it was entertaining, so I'll give it that. And the first movie was kind of goofy too, and a lot like dialogues and stuff was, kind of making fun of mom vloggers and that kind of thing. Not making fun of, but like satire. And so I kind of knew it was going to be the same type of movie, but I don't know. I don't want to discount it either. It's hard making sequels that with like, it just felt like there were too many, like there was kind of dumb characters that didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Mm.
But yeah, recommend. I like the first movie a lot, so maybe I'll like the third. Who knows? If there is one.
Yeah, if there is one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I'll get into my current viewings.
Yeah, go for it.
So for the past month now, I think, I've been playing DS puzzle games. One of them's on the 3DS, but do you know what the Nintendo DS is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so it's a portable game console from like more than a decade ago with 2 screens.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I've been playing a bunch of story puzzle games. It's like these are all like, there's some puzzle games that are like just lists of puzzles, like you just play a bunch of puzzles and there's no story to speak of. These are all like story games that really want to like get invested in a narrative as well as having puzzles as sort of their gameplay. The first one of these is 999, 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, which came out in 2009 in Japan and 2010 in North America. And it is a hybrid visual novel, which is kind of like a book, but with pictures.
What makes it hybrid?
Oh, it's a hybrid visual novel and like puzzle adventure game. Specifically,
I got you. Okay.
Escape room games. So like half of the gameplay is spent reading, and half of the gameplay is spent going through. Like, you get locked in a room and you have to find a way out.
I got you.
Which I'm sure you're familiar with escape rooms as like a place you can go to in real life now.
Yes.
Yeah, but that started as a video game genre, so...
Interesting.
But the plot of this game is that 9 people are trapped on a replica of the Titanic, and they have 9 hours to get through 9 doors to escape.
Oh.
And they've all been abducted and put there by some mysterious figure called Zero, who's doing this for unknown reasons. And as you go through it, you find out that 9 years ago, there was an experiment conducted on a bunch of children, 18 children. 9 of them were placed in a building in Nevada, and 9 of them were placed on a replica of the Titanic that was sinking, just like now, the present in the game time. And the purpose of that experiment was to try to connect to basically telepathy. So apparently the company that was running this realized that danger and epiphany are the 2 things that make telepathic connections stronger. So that's why they're on a sinking ship. And that's also why they're doing puzzles. It's like an excuse for why there's puzzle games.
Oh.
But yeah, so you find that out as you go through. You realize Zero's actually one of the 9 people who's been trapped on the ship with you. Yeah, and also eventually you find out Zero, the person who Zero is, and why they're doing it, which one is for revenge. They end up killing, causing one of the people to kill the others, but killing the people who were responsible for the original experiment as revenge, as well as because of the telepathic connection. One of the kids from 9 years ago developed a telepathic connection to the main character from the present day in this game, and they need to do that so they can solve the final puzzle, because otherwise they'll die in the past, and it creates a time loop.
Oh.
But yeah, so yeah, also you have to go through and get one of the bad endings before you can get one of the good endings.
You have to?
Yes.
Oh.
Because if you don't, it basically there's a piece of information you need to get the good ending, and you can only get that by making one of the wrong choices earlier, and that's also part of the telepathy. It's you get the information from a part of the game when, playing it multiple times, and you technically shouldn't know that, but you end up knowing it.
Oh, I like that. It's kind of like cheating, but not cheating.
But, yeah, so... Yeah, I thought this game was okay.
Okay.
I've been hearing stuff about this for years and years, because, not everybody played this back in the day, but, basically everybody who did loved it.
Oh.
It was, it's really talked up. It's one of the best games on the DS. Just a really good story. Does amazing things with the platform. And it's got one neat trick that makes use of the dual screens. That's kind of clever, but not I don't know. Fundamentally, it is a puzzle game with mediocre puzzles. It really gets me. Yes, the puzzles are just, they feel half-baked, basically all of them. A ton of them just aren't even real puzzles. So, that's a problem for me.
Oh.
And, the story's fine, it's not doing anything special. So I feel a lot of people who liked it, this was, one of their first exposures to, this kind of visual novel. So, they don't have any point of comparison, so of course this seems amazing. But yeah, I don't know, for me, playing this when I did it, just I'm I don't know, I've seen other stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's competently done for the most part, it's just...
It just wasn't
the puzzles
impressive.
are mediocre, and the story's, nothing to really write home about, so...
It sounds the way you described it, it sounds like it would be really interesting. It sounds like something I would like, but I guess it's all about the execution.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was bad, like I said, it's just... I mean, it's probably, an issue with expectations.
Yeah.
Which is probably not something, I should let influence my judgment about this stuff. Just because I've been hearing about this game for years. But...
That's hard to do, though. I mean, it's really hard to not have influence, especially, like you said, for, several years, Yeah.
More than a decade, in fact.
Wow.
I mean, people haven't talked about it as much in the past, I don't know, 8 or so years. It was more in the earlier parts of that, but yeah, it's been, it came out in 2010 here, so
Yeah.
been hearing about it for basically that long.
So you think you would have had a different, like, view of it if you had played it then?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, it's fine.
Well, I mean, I like, in terms of, like, what like, the media I consume, I guess, like, when I go back and read a book that I really liked, like, a long time ago, sometimes I'm like, why did I like this book? Like, I've read so many better books since then, but at the time, it was impressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't know that I quite get that response with stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, this definitely feels like, some people's first exposure to, like, this type of story, especially with the, like, multiple pathways you have to go through to get the full story.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Quite interesting.
Also, yeah, it being a visual novel, meaning that you have to go through it multiple times to, get everything, like, get all the routes, especially, like, to get the, true ending, you absolutely have to go through one of the other endings. But because of, like, I don't know why they did this, but, you have to play through the whole game again, which means you have to redo puzzles that you've already, like, solved in the past, which is really annoying.
I mean, at least they're easy, right? You already solved them.
Yeah, but still, you have to, like, move around and click stuff that, that's annoying to do.
I feel like it's like pointless. You've already done it.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Yeah.
But, yeah, that's that one. So then I played the sequel, which is the 3DS game I mentioned, which is, Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward, which came out in 2012.
Okay.
And yeah, so, this game it's also a hybrid visual novel adventure game, like escape room puzzle sections, and it's in 3D, instead of 2D like the last one was. Well, the backgrounds were in 3D in 999, but the characters were all 2D. And also, this one, Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward, is, like, full 3D, so you have to move the camera around to look at stuff. The last one, you just, like, had set camera angles that you swapped between, which I like that a lot better, because that makes it easier to play. Also, the 3D looks way worse than the 2D.
Ew, really?
Yeah, like, I don't know, I'm sure I'm not alone in this, but, like, the 3D models just do not live up to the, like, art design of the 2D. Like,
Bro, why did they do that then? You would think they would do it only if it's, like, better.
I mean, it's probably just, like, audience expectation, plus this is, like, they probably were able to do this on this console more so than they were on the DS.
Okay.
So, yeah, I thought it looked worse, it played worse because of that. Often, a lot of the writing in this, I think, is worse than the first game, but they've actually figured out puzzle design, so the puzzles feel like real puzzles, instead of the, like, half-baked, like, just, like, kind of their puzzles of the first game.
Good.
So, I like this game a lot better because of that.
Good.
Even though I think it's worse in quite a few capacities. Also, they figured out the, like, the story structure way better, where you have to go through multiple routes. That is done way better here. And it's, like, way better for it. Also, they don't make you replay sections. So, like, you can skip around.
So you like that better.
Between choices, yeah. So I don't have to do the same puzzle, like, 12 times. It was actually only 6, I think, but it's still a lot of times to do a puzzle.
Yeah, I feel like that would probably get annoying to me.
Yeah. I mean, some of the puzzles in this are still weird. Like, there was a bunch of times where I got to something and I was like, is this what this wants me to do? And then I would do it and it would be correct. And it's like, that's a weird thing to do, but okay.
Really?
Yeah. It's hard for me to describe. It's just a lot of the puzzles. I was just like,
yeah, I guess it's like, yeah, I need context.
Also, there was a lot of annoying things, like sliding block puzzles, that because the 3DS has a gyroscope in it, one of the control schemes was to use the gyroscope, which I wasn't doing. I was using little arrow keys. But because it has a gyroscope, sometimes I would accidentally move it and make the thing move with the gyroscope. Which was really annoying. I didn't
want to do that. Yeah.
And, yeah, there's one where you had to, like, connect lines and you had to be basically perfect with your tracing, which I didn't like.
Oh my goodness. I would fail. Absolutely fail.
Yeah, like I had multiple times where I like had solved the puzzle and it took me several minutes because I was like trying to make sure the lines lined up properly.
That sounds a bit tedious.
Yeah, but anyways, yes. So the plot of this game is you get abducted. So different character, but they get abducted again by someone who calls themselves Zero. Also, there's a rabbit here. There's like a CGI rabbit that's like an AI or something.
Oh.
I do not like this rabbit. I wish they had not added this rabbit. It's annoying.
You hate the rabbit, okay.
Yes, but the rabbit's like, yes, you've been abducted and you can escape this facility, which seems to be a quarantine facility.
No.
Yeah, so, yeah, they think the year's, what was the year? Hold on, is it 2025?
Oh, goodness. That's kind of funny, if it is.
I forget, but anyways, like, they get abducted some year. It could have been, like, 2022 or something. Anyways, it was sometime, like, real close. Yeah, they get, abducted, and a bunch, 9 more people end up in this facility, and there's, like, again, a mystery about, like, okay, 2028. There we go.
Oh.
Just 9 more people are abducted, as a mystery. 2 of the people who were abducted are the participants from the last game, or, well, one of them is a participant from the last game, the other one's like a thing about, an Egyptian mummy, but it turns out she's not actually a mummy.
Oh, creepy.
It's the whole thing from the last game. Yeah, so you're like, what's going on there? What's, like, Zero want this time? But anyways, as you go through it, you slowly realize that, well, one of the people here is potentially a murderer who's, trying to kill someone in this space. Oh, yeah, also, yeah, so the last one, they're, like, trying to escape and they might be enemies, and this one, it's like, yeah, so you have to play the Prisoner's Dilemma, and if you get enough points from playing the Prisoner's Dilemma, which, do you know what the Prisoner's Dilemma is?
Yes.
Okay. But if you get enough points from that, you're allowed to leave, and everybody who doesn't have enough points gets locked in there forever.
Wah wah.
So they're a lot more hostile. But, yeah, so, yeah, one of the people is like, you eventually find out that he's like a terrorist that works for some cult.
Oh my gosh.
And he's trying to kill the creator of this and bomb it because, yeah, I'm trying, like, eventually you find out there is a disease, that's why this is like a quarantine facility, and eventually, like, it like, basically kills everybody. Or it will.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's like an interesting premise.
And, yeah, so you learn, like, back in the day that, you learn that there was a disease that got released. And it basically decimated the human population. You learn you're not actually in 2028, you're in like 2070 something. And everybody that like was there like got cryogenically frozen into the 2070s. Also, you find out you're actually on the moon.
Okay.
It's a moon base. But yeah, because yeah, there was a disease released that basically killed most of the human population. And this whole thing was set up as a plan to go back in time using the telepathy powers from last game to like affect things back in time.
So what are you supposed to do like if you escape and you're on the moon?
Well, they go to a settlement on the like nothing basically. Like the whole plan is just to get 2 people who have like particularly strong telepathic powers. And they start, like, realizing, hey, I remember stuff that happened last time, like the multiple route thing, like, when you can make choices, like, on what to do in the Prisoner's Dilemma, or, like, which doors to go through.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's, like, so it's for them to do that, so eventually they work up, like, the knowledge of, like, everything that's happening, but, yeah, they get strong enough, and eventually they can, the plan is, that the scientist who came up with all this, abducted himself in the past somehow. I forget how that one worked.
What? Okay.
But yeah, like, it turns out you're Zero this time, because you're the scientist who designed all this.
Oh, interesting. Okay, this sounds like a pretty decent plot.
Yeah, it's kind of wild. But anyways, you, yeah, the scientist who abducted everybody and is like, yeah, so the plan was to, swap their, like, memories. So it's like his younger version got swapped into his older self.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, through the telepathic powers. And they're basically gonna send like the 2 characters that have the telepathy powers. Like, they're gonna send their memories or spirit or whatever back in time. like knowing everything they know in order to stop this disease from happening, so that the world doesn't end up killing basically. I think they say 6 billion people.
Ooh.
So.
Wow.
Yep.
So did you save the day?
No, actually, that's the fun part.
Oh,
You get to the end and they reveal everything to you, and then there's another ending after that, and it's like, yeah, it didn't work. Apparently, it was really like the facility they were going to that ended up like causing the problem, like that leaked the disease or whatever. And I don't remember if they specifically stated like how this happened, but it was probably the cult doing it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, but yeah, that facility ended up like being really difficult, so they didn't manage to save the day. That's actually what the third game is about, is them in this facility.
Did you do the third game?
No, I didn't, which, so I guess to finish my thoughts on this one, I think it's worse in a lot of ways, but because the puzzles are a lot better and the structure's a lot better, it's a much better game to play, so, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like the first one, the way you described it, would be a more interesting story. The second one seems like more intricate and like, I guess more entertaining. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of like wild stuff that happens in this game. Like one of the characters turns out to be a robot. One of the people trapped there.
Ooh, that's interesting. Surprises all throughout. Love that.
Yeah. Yeah, so then I started the third game, but because instead of being a visual novel, it's like all cutscenes. And the fact that they somehow made the 3D models look even worse, I was like, no, I don't feel like playing through this. Also, I thought the dialogue was bad, so.
That's rough.
Yep.
So you just not gonna do it?
Yep, I was like, nope, not playing this, I'm not interested. I've also heard consistently that it's like the worst of the three, so.
Oh no.
Starting off already not liking it and then being like, oh, okay, people also don't like this, I'm fine skipping it.
Yeah. Oh well. How does it get worse though? Like, I just don't understand.
I don't know, I think they didn't have the budget for the third one, that's what I heard. But yeah, I don't know, it just looked worse to me.
How funny.
Like, the characters didn't look, like, there's some of the characters from the first two games in the third game, and they didn't look to me like the characters, like, from those, so I was like...
Yeah.
Like, once they at first they're just, like, there, and then once they all list their names, I'm like, oh, what?
You're like, how did they change that?
Yeah.
Much, yeah. Ew.
That's just translated from 2D to 3D in a different art style, or even the ones that were in 3D, they just, are in a different style, and I don't know. I thought it looked bad.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah, so the next game I played is called Ghost Trick Phantom Detective.
Oh.
This came out in 2010 in Japan and 2011 for the rest of the world.
It sounds intriguing.
Yeah, so in this one, you're a ghost who does tricks to save the day, basically.
Love that.
One of the things you can do is go back in time and save people who died, and so you're doing that.
Oh.
And also, so you're an amnesiac, so, when you died, you lost all your memories, and you're, like, the main character. And, like, well, I want to find out what my memories were, so they go around doing that, and in order to do that, they meet with a detective who dies, and they save initially, but then they're like, our stories are tied together, so might as well follow them around, and they're doing, like, activities to either save them or other people around them, or find out what they're trying to solve, and there's, like, a lot of reveals and mysteries that are, like, what actually happened. And also, like, this game's very stylish. There's a lot of characters who are very, like, over-the-top and kind of cartoony. Like, one of the detectives in this just, like poses and, like, does, like, a little, like, strutting thing where they're, like, pointing everywhere, like, when they come into a scene.
How funny.
Stuff like that.
Did you like that, or you didn't like it?
Yeah, I didn't like the style of this, I don't know. Which, like,
yeah.
I can see why people would really like that, but I just wasn't a fan of it. And, like, the gameplay to this is you're possessing different inanimate objects to, like, make your goal, which, again, is, like, either, like, saving people, so stopping the thing that kills them from happening, or, like, sometimes just, like, doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so... The puzzles I didn't really like in this one. Like, I almost quit this one twice because I thought it was annoying.
But you went through with it?
Yeah. which, like, I don't know, it just... There's a lot of timing-based puzzles in this, which are really annoying because if you mess them up, you have to go back in time, or, like, you have to reset everything and watch through a bunch of stuff again, so it just makes things go really slow, and there's a lot of, like, trial and error puzzles in that, like, where in order to find the solution, you're supposed to do a trial and error, and some of the stuff you can, like mess up and have to, again, reset, and I just found that really annoying.
Oh, I gotcha.
And also, I feel like it didn't really make good use of its mechanic set. Like, everything's, you know, it's trying to be an easy puzzle game to, like, tell a story, but I felt like there was a lot more depth they could explore with this, and it just didn't, and I don't know, it just kind of soured it for me.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, so I just didn't care for the story.
Oh, you tried.
The twist at the end is that you're a cat. You were a cat the whole time.
Oh, love that. Wait, so you're... Okay, that's interesting.
You're a cat ghost, yes.
Cat ghost who works with a detective.
Yeah.
Wow. I like that.
Well, not actually. So, like, the plot is, this detective's trying to solve this other detective who she looked up to, is in jail for murder and set to be executed, and she's trying to stop that. And so you're discovering stuff about that out. And you find out the murder was caused by someone who has the same ghost powers that you do.
Oh.
And they got framed, and they're also doing other stuff to, like, mess things up. And also there's a deal with some foreign country of blue people going on.
Okay.
But anyways, you find out the perpetrator of all this stuff was, this guy who, something like 10 years ago, abducted the original detective lady after he escaped from prison and held a gun to her before getting taken out by a meteor, which instead of killing him, gave him special ghost powers and immortality.
That's wild.
And he tries to make a deal with that foreign country, but it goes bad and he ends up, like, getting trapped. And you find this out, and eventually you go back in time and fix things so that he doesn't die from the meteor.
Wow.
And it turns out you were a cat.
Love that.
Yep.
How funny.
I don't know. It's not a great game. It's only okay.
Oh, he sounds interesting, for sure.
Yeah. And then next and last is Professor Layton and the Curious Village, which I am still playing through. It came out in 2007 in Japan and 2008 for the rest of the world.
Ooh.
And yeah, I don't really like this one. I'm playing through it very slowly because of that. But, you know, I said all of these are, like, puzzle games with stories. This one is the most, like, list of puzzles out of all of these. Because there's, like, ostensibly a plot. So you're Professor Layton, who's, like, a famous puzzle guy, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of vaguely looks like or not looks like, but kind of vaguely, like, stands in for a Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
He's a lot nicer than a Sherlock Holmes, but, you know, it's a kind of pulling from that same thing. He's British.
Gotcha.
And he has a like, child assistant, who I guess is his apprentice or something.
Oh.
But yeah, they get invited to this town, the titular Curious Village, because some rich guy there died, and left his inheritance to who could ever figure out his puzzle or whatever, like whoever could solve his mystery. And so Professor Layton gets called in to solve the mystery because nobody else could.
So does he get the inheritance?
Well, I mean, I'm still playing through it, I don't know.
Oh.
But the plot of this so far has been every time you're like, oh, I'm gonna do something, and then something else comes up. And, like, sometimes this other stuff gets resolved, but a lot of times it's just like, nope, something else comes up. Like, so you go there and you're like, let's talk about this inheritance thing, but then the cat runs out. The Baroness's, I think it's a Baron. But the lady of the house's cat runs out, so you have to go find the cat. And then you bring the cat back, and it turns out someone's been murdered.
So side quests, love that.
Yeah, and then, like, you're trying to, like, help with solving the murder, and then someone disappeared, and you gotta go find the disappeared person, but then they come back. It's a whole thing.
It's, like, a lot of different ones, so...
Yeah. But also, the way you play this game is you, like, walk around and talk to people, and the people give you a puzzle to solve.
So everybody's into puzzles in this Curious Village.
Yes, and... But that just, it makes it, like... So, ostensibly, you're trying to go through the plot, but instead you just keep running into puzzles over and over and over again. So it's it makes the plot, like, just very... Like, I would prefer this to be just a list of puzzles, honestly.
Yeah.
It's not, like, paced well.
Yeah.
Like, the way... Like, I'm supposed to care about the plot, But instead I keep doing these puzzles.
Yeah, I could see how that would get a little bit annoying.
Yeah. And also I don't like the puzzles, because they're all it's not like a set of mechanics designed for this game. It's like all bespoke puzzles. Like and basically all of them aren't even video game puzzles. Like some of them are riddles. Some of them are like math problems. They're just straight up math problems and not puzzles, which I find annoying anytime a game tries to make me do math.
Yeah, like why would they do that?
Yeah, and some of them are like matchstick puzzles where it's like move this one matchstick to make this shape into something else.
Oh yeah.
So they're all stuff like that.
I got
Or
you.
like cut this shape in a certain way to make it look like this other shape, or like stuff like that.
I feel like it's like that reminds me of like GT enrichment puzzles type of thing. Like in school.
Probably. But I mean, it's all like stuff that you could do like pen and paper or stuff like that. Like I don't know. I don't like a lot of the puzzle styles. Like a lot of them are like riddles where like they're trick questions. Like one of the first ones I ran into like this is like, what's the last letter of the alphabet? It's not Z, and they mean the last letter of the word, the alphabet.
Oh, yes.
Or that, like, it's like, this is a, like, really old one I've heard before. It's like, 5 cats it takes 5 cats 5 minutes to chase 5 mice. How many minutes does it take 100 cats to chase 100 mice? So, like, if you're not thinking about it, you think, 100, because 5, 5, 5, 100, 100, 100. But, it's actually 5.
Yeah. 5,
but, like, they're all just stuff like that.
Oh, I feel like that would get kind of annoying. Like, the first couple might be like, oh, haha, I know these, and then it would be, like, kind of annoying.
Yeah, a lot of the styles of puzzle I just don't like, and I don't like the pacing, and I don't like the plot or the characters so far, but I don't know, I've just been slowly working through it.
Maybe you'll start liking it more.
Oh yeah, also, there's been a few times where I've, like, gotten, like, matchstick puzzles right, but because I didn't do the exact thing it wanted, it counted it wrong.
Oh, gross.
So it's like, I got a shape that works for what they want, but because it's not, like, literally the exact shape they wanted.
It doesn't work, yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like an oversight.
I mean, it's probably hard to detect. Also, anytime you enter in, characters, usually games on the DS would pop up like a little keyboard, and you would, like, move around using the arrow keys, which is annoying, but doable. This one has you write in letter by letter, and it has, like, a little detection algorithm, which isn't great.
Ew.
So, like, you have to draw it with the stylus, and it's annoying. I don't like that.
Ew. Yeah, I feel like that would be annoying for sure.
Yeah, still working through this, hypothetically. Don't really like it, but we'll see. This one, like, is a really popular game, too. And, like, people love it, have loved it for years. So, I don't know. Not for me, I guess.
Oh well. You tried it.
Yeah. Well, I'm still trying it. Maybe it'll get better.
Yeah, still trying it. Who knows? Maybe it'll get worse.
Yeah, I've realized I don't like the style of puzzle design where it's all like, the puzzles that don't have to be in a video game. I like puzzle games that are like, they come up with their own sort of mechanics designed around, like they design their own stuff. Yeah. And it's like working within like something a designer created instead of just like random puzzles, including math problems.
That makes sense.
Which again, I don't like doing math problems.
Yeah, nobody wants to do math. Yeah.
They're not hard math problems. Like I think the hardest one so far has been like a really easy algebra. But still, I don't want to do algebra.
Nobody wants to do algebra. That's awful. Oh well.
Yep, but yeah, that's my current viewings.
You've done a lot.
DS puzzle games that I don't really like, apparently. Like, each of these have been kind of like, not a huge fan of this game for these reasons.
That's kind of comical.
Yeah, but still, been playing through them.
Well, that's a lot of current viewings.
Yep, 4 games.
How interesting.
Yeah.
I only had 1 movie, so...
Yeah, well... But, yeah, I guess that's everything.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I enjoy always seeing what you've been up to and explaining things that I've been up to. So, fun times.
Yeah. I'll take us out.
All right.
All right, this has been Beachview. Thanks for listening and tune in next time. Bye.
Bye.